Okay, guys, so following up, we have a brand new president. Joe Biden was inaugurated in the White House. He's been there and he's already signed 30 executive orders. Now, I'm not going to go through each one, I'm just going to go through the ones that stood out to me. Now, most of them, and what you need to know, were about COVID and accelerating the process of the vaccine getting out, and extending more aid to people who are struggling due to the pandemic. But other than that, here's the ones that stood out to me, and I'm just going to give my thoughts on them. Now, you know that my opinion comes from very strong support of a pro growth economy and a respect for civil liberties. So, with that being said, the first one that I want to point out is he signed an executive order to rejoin the World Health Organization. Now, the World Health Organization, to me, is a good organization in principle. You want a place where the governments of the world and the people of the world can kind of have international dialogue for public health issues that affect all of us. If we weren't able to communicate effectively when issues pop up that affect us all, there would be little way to actually fix those. So I do support it in principle. However, in practice, we know things are much more complicated. The World Health Organization kind of came under criticism for the way that it has been influenced by money and politics, and that goes on all sides. When you talk about the two major, superpowers of the world right now, the United States of America and China, have just had um, too much influence in the international organizations of the world. So the World Health Organization has probably done, that I haven't heard of yet, corrupt things for the United States and covered for the United States because it receives so much funding from the United States. So probably to the non-Western world, the World Health Organization and other international organizations like the United Nations has been just a tool and an arm for the United States to exert some kind of control over everybody else. And then on the flip side, the recent controversy where the World Health Organization would not recognize Taiwan, where it covered for China when China first had its coronavirus outbreak, even though it knew about the outbreak. All of those things add to distrust in the World Health Organization as an institution. So, in principle, I think that it's a great organization. I think that it has a lot to offer. But in practice, I think that there's some serious concerns, and the World Health Organization needs to be treated more like the judicial branch in Western democracies. It needs to be treated as something that is sacred and set apart from corrupt political and economic influences if it's truly going to be able to carry out its mandate as a global institution where everyone has an equal say and just solely there to deal with the health issues on the global scene and making sure that we don't have pandemics like we see right now, or that if we do, instructions are carried out clearly, information is transparent, and politics are kept out of the way. So that's my opinion on that. Something else to note is that he appointed Dr. Fauci as the head delegate from the United States to the World Health Organization. I think that that's a wonderful idea. I do generally like Dr. Fauci. I don't always agree with him, but I do think that he is trying to just take into consideration the science, even though he did mislead us in the beginning with the mask situation where he said, masks weren't important. And then he said that the reason why he did say that was because he didn't want everyone to rush and buy masks up from the first health respondents. I think that it's better to be transparent and then explain why we shouldn't buy masks and then just let that kind of play out itself, or have the federal government purchase a ton of masks for first responders before everybody else does. So overall, I respect the decision to rejoin, but proceed with caution, and we'll see how that works out.